Hello YouTube and welcome to a very special Let's Play, one that I have been wanting to do since the very beginning of my channel. This game is special, and it is a game, you can't tell right now what it is. I'm actually going to turn the music on. We have options, combat music, CD music, introduction, all this stuff, so we'll just leave it alone. Okay there, you know, that's the actual game. You'll see it later. The music is cool. This is the 1993 epic classic Betrayal at Krondor. Well, no, it's not. It's based on the works of the author Raymond E. Feist, who is my favorite author of fantasy science fiction of all time. In the early 1980s, he wrote the Rift War series of books, 4 books about a young man's destiny to become the greatest wizard of his world. This story is completely unrelated to that. This is a story that takes place between two of Feist's major cycles of books, the Rift War and the Serpent War, which he wrote in the late 1990s, in 1997. This is the Rift War Legacy. It's a series of books. Or actually, no, Serpent War started in 1994. This book, the book based on this, was written in 1997. But this game came first. This game was created in 1993, right around the time he was rolling out some more books. It is the story of a young mage and a dark elf, and they save the world. And this world is my favorite world. It is the world of Midkemia. We're going to start a new game, and I'm going to read all the text. We're going to have fun. It's an open world RPG, sort of. And yeah, let's just get started. We will start a new game. Yes, I do. Chapter 1, Into a Dark Night. It is very narrative because it is written by an author. Blood-soaked rags collected at the boy's feet. One by one, he tended the wincing soldier's purple wounds, stitched, salved, bandaged, did what little he could in the leaping golden halo of firelight. Fortunately for his roadside patient, he could do more than most. Fingers slick with alum ointment, he worked fervently to tie off a catgut cord, then brushed the injury with a light touch that seemed, to the untrained eye, would seem only a friendly pat. Others would recognize the telltale hand gesture as a magical ward against infection. Done, Owen sighed, wiping his hand in rust-colored cloth. No guarantees, though. The stitches may hold all the way to Lamut and then back again. Push too hard and you could be bleeding like a stuck pig on Midsummers. You did fine, Signor Locklear replied, smiling approval before rolling down his sleeve. It'll scar, but it's good for a noble's reputation. Let the kingdom folk know he isn't resting on his laurels, and it impresses the ladies. I'll be sure to look you up in Tilburn if I ever need stitching up again. The boy accepted the compliments with a humble nod while he packaged away the rest of his medical supplies. His thoughts focused instead on a third man who slumped in the shadows across from them. Despite the manacles that bound the stranger's hands and the distance that separated them, the boy felt dreadfully exposed, for avenues of escape limited should the Locklear's elven-looking prisoner decide to liberate himself. What did he do? Owen whispered, jerking his head toward the man. Goreth, let's just say he had the disadvantage of being at the wrong place at the wrong time, Locklear said. Cautiously, he snatched a greenish apple out of his knapsack, offering one to Owen. I have to take him to Krondor. Did he kill someone? Owen asked. No. He attacked you. The seigneur wiped the apple juice from his mouth, shook his head. No, not exactly. Well, who cut you up then? Before Locklear could reply. Animated cutscenes. Goreth leapt forward, his chains writhing between his wrists like metallic vipers. Get out from underfoot, Owen! Assassin in the cap! Do not struggle! So Hatheth, I wish to keep you alive. Be glad I do not. The goddess of death will show you greater mercy. Escort Goreth to Krondor. That's episode 1. Here we are. So Goreth is an elf. He is a dark elf of the Dark Brotherhood. This is that we have weapons. They have quality. broadsword. I like how that's all narrative. Everything is narrative in this game because it's written by an author. It's a book. It's a story. It's also a game. Slicing the air with the weapon, Goreth made a few passes at an imaginary foe. Although the sword was not the most remarkable he'd ever held, it would serve well enough if he found himself in a sword battle. And more info. You can kind of see what the base damage is. 7 strength. Racial mod human. He's not a human, he's an elf. He's a dark elf, the closest thing to a dark elf in this game. Laying the brown parcel aside, Goreth carefully undid the short length of string that bound the package. Although standard rations generally contained salted sweetmeats, hard rolls, sliced apples, and strawberry tarts, he was eager to get whatever food was inside. Yeah, this is Goreth's inventory. This is, what is this, a healing potion? Comforting warmth blanketed Goreth as he took the vial of restorative fluid, its magical effects radiating up and down the length of his arm and down through his limbs and torso. He would, of course, have to swallow the liquid to reap benefits of healing powers. So this is like a world where magic is really kind of limited. It's high fantasy. There's elves and dwarves and all the magical dragons and all the magical stuff that you expect. Owen here is a mage, a young healer slash mage. He's got, I'm just trying to see, herbal pack. A potent medical aroma wafted from the herbal pack as Owen looked it over. What opening? And he was certain it was contained the standard materials. Alum and healer's alcohol wood couldn't help regain lost strength. It would go a long way to increase the rate at which he healed. Yeah. And you got torches and food. And you got good old Signor Locklear here, who is one of my favorite characters. I would picture him as blonde. The mustache, because I love Goreth's ridiculous beard, though. He's a dark elf. I don't know why he has this ridiculous beard. We also have that. So, yeah, Locklear has the same information, same sword. So this is the world, and we are going to figure out how to move. I think you click, do you? Yeah, you click these arrows to move. Here's the body. Thinking only made it worse. Setting aside his reservations about pilfering the fallen, he decided he would take whatever the goddess of luck had given them. However immoral he might feel about it, he was certain his stomach would quickly assuage his guilt if he found a bit of food to eat. So there's lockpicks. We're going to give those to Goreth because I think he's the... Oh, here's his skills. I can right-click on him and get his skills. I'm just still kind of remembering how this game plays. Everybody as a character in this story. Yeah, so you can see what he has for skills. Haggling is really low. Can we switch to Locklear? Locklear's a lot better at things, but speed 4, strength 17. Owen has spells. He has Despair the Eyes, Invitation, Gift of Sun, Candle Glow, Scent of Staring. Goreth, what was Owen's skills? I'm curious. He's got good haggling, actually. Casting is 64%. Can't use crossbows. We gotta drag these. Give all. And then as far as food, Owen has a lot. Goreth doesn't have many, so we want to give him those two as well. Okay, now here's the map. Oh, this is not. Is this the world map? If I do this, yes. Here's the world map. This is the world of Midkemia, my favorite place to escape to in a fantasy setting. We are here outside of Yaban. The Dark Elves, the Goreth people, live up here in Armengar. And then up here even farther in Sarsargoth is their capital, actually. Yes, there are wild men. There's the good old Eastern Kingdoms, Romney, Sloop, Silden, Mal's Cross. The capital of the kingdom is like over here somewhere, but we want to go to Krondor, which is the second largest kingdom in the city. I also want to go Caldera. I can't go to... Okay, well I can go to Zune. There's a place over here we will go in a later chapter. I also want to go to Quester's View, Hawk's Hollow. Those are good places to go right now. We want to go to Sethenon as well at some point. And Darkmoor in this area. I will tell you stories of Raymond Feist. I will tell you great tales of Raymond Feist stories. But the best part is you have a destination. We were supposed to go to Krondor, but it's more fun to just go wherever you want and check out the world. But let's go to Lamut. Let's just check out these places. Actually, we go back to Yaban right now since we're right by Yaban, if I can remember how to get there. It's probably this way. Okay, and this is how you camp also, I believe. So, just look around at the world. Our campsite. Can you click on stuff? We want to go northwest. We want to go... I also haven't turned off my sound, so you're going to hear bing-bong noises if I don't do that. So there's a mountain. This is southeast. We don't want to go southeast. I really wanted to go... Well, I gotta go southeast to get back to the road, right? And then we can go along the road to Yaban. Yes, that sounds like about right. So we're back to the main. Gorath seemed distant, though the Morid Hell warrior didn't appear grieved about killing the assassin that had followed them from the Northlands. His eyes had a baleful look in them that seemed something between hatred and rage. Several times he glanced at the corpse that laid behind him in the dust, his thoughts unguessable from his expression. Morid Hell is what they call dark elves. There's the Elid Hell, which are regular elves, the Glamdred Hell, which are like crazy wild elves, and then the Morid Hell, who are like the evil dark elves for the most part. There's a reason they're evil, and they are led astray by a false prophet, etc., etc. Gorath is... This whole story is Gorath's story of redemption. Do you wish to bury him? We could do that. He looks ridiculous here. It looks like he's wearing like one of those old trapper helmets. It is not our way. I simply am somewhat disturbed that he should come after me. He was a kinsman. There are other things that trouble me as well. Delican's assistants are slow, but not altogether stupid. Another like Haseth, and you'd only have my corpse to drag before your Prince Arutha. My corpse to drag before your Prince Arutha. Yes, Delican is the evil leader of them right now. Sorry, you don't get off that easy. As long as you are under my command, you are forbidden to die, Morid Hell. I've gone too far, too much trouble to keeping you alive to bury you now. It's time we took those chains off you. It'll be far easier for you to defend yourself if your hands are free to swing a sword again. You're not just going to set him free, are you? I thought you said he was your prisoner. He is my prisoner, Owen, but the circumstances are terribly complicated. Even if he chooses to sneak off, he'd be lucky to make it to the next town alive. This is the third such assassin we've run into since we left the Northlands, and I have a feeling that more will be waiting for us. He will be much safer with me, and I with him. As the boy would be if he were to whisper the wrong word in the wrong ear. He could easily be the death of us. Me? Who am I going to talk to? I'm not even heading in the same direction. It wouldn't be a matter of who you talk to, Owen. There will be ears listening for word of a Morid Hell traveling with a nobleman. Damnation, I should have thought about this when you entered camp. For the time being, you're my squire. Once we arrive safely at the palace, you'll be free to go your own way. But I have pressing business in Tilburn. This is not a subject of debate. We must get to Krondor. My mission is of critical importance, and I don't have time to improvise an easy solution. The only other possible option would be to slit your throat and leave you dying. I have absolutely no desire to do that. Now let's get moving before Delican's assassins catch our scent again. They'll likely come looking when Haseth doesn't return from his mission. Indeed. It's very story-driven. It's going to be story-driven. Unless we go like the wrong direction, which is what we're going to do. Owen said he had pressing business in Tilburn, actually. I'm kind of interested to go to Tilburn. But I'm going to go to Yaban, because that's right here. What does the road button do? Does that just mean I follow the road? Like, literally? Just stick on the roads here? What's that over there? I don't know. That might be... there are enemies just about in the world here. Oh yeah, we are just... Actually gonna check this out. This is Yaban, isn't it? Yaban. Yaban. This is a city I'm not entirely unfamiliar with here. Yeah, we have you're glued to the... Oh, something, I missed it. We may need supplies. There's a shop here at the crossroads, and we might be able to pick up a few things. Otherwise, we should be cautious. Okay, I will, Yeah, and it's the story of Owen, the young healer, who becomes a great mage. Locklear looked around nervously as Owen knocked. Doesn't seem anyone's about, he said. Luck's with us. Now, we can't, go into any of these buildings we want. Is that how this works? Locklear knocked on the door. For a long moment he leaned against the door frame as he waited, positioning himself so he could listen for the sounds of any stirrings inside. When it was at last evident no one was coming, he stepped back with a shrug. Doesn't seem anyone's about, Locklear said. I always pictured Locklear as this like really foppish nobleman. Oh, we went past a lot of buildings. A bell rang. No sooner had Locklear managed to get the door open than he found the shopkeeper, who was escorting him inside. Everywhere Locklear looked, to polished metal gleamed as much to a temple as to to war as to any temple of Tith. The cramped shop offered a startling variety of weapons and armor. Okay, let's see. Buy, sell. Now they've got some great stuff here. We have 14 silver. These cost a lot of gold. Be able to afford any of that. Well, we will eventually. That's just going to be a long process. So did I try all these doors? Definitely not a good idea. This is my aunt's house. As much as I would enjoy the opportunity to explain why I'm traveling with a Morid Hell, I think we should leave. Huh. There's aunt's house. That's great. They're all classic characters. So I don't know. The shop is like this little shed in the back. I don't know how when I think this isn't turning. I think it's actually moving in that direction. Yeah. We're also moving, so can I just turn? Is there just a... That's his aunt's house. Is there just a turn option here? Okay, I know you're probably like, oh, why did you do that? Can we get back on the road? I guess that's just the shop there. That's all that's in this town. So let's... He had pressing business in Tilburn, that was... So now we're back on the road. If we go off-roading, we might find stuff, but we'll also be set upon by enemies more. A lot more than likely. We want to turn so we can face the road. We're going to head south towards... sometimes going way out of your way to go like different directions that you haven't been is a good idea. What was that path? Does that go anywhere? That's just where we started. So I want to go down here to Lamut. He had business in Tilburn, which is... I don't know. Not a city that's on here, I guess. Yeah, I can't get to Caldara. Yeah, I just wanted to see where we were going. I want to head for Sethanon eventually. That's the goal. Sarth is also a really good place. There's Nabby in Sarth. I don't remember everything. Don't expect me to know everything. I don't remember everything about this game, about the world. This is I think you have to eat to maintain your strength. Hang on here. There is a box of treasures right there. Rough in construction and banded with iron, the Morid Hell box would be impossible to open without solving the ward lock. Oh, judging by the marks on the face, the chest there had learned that lesson after much difficulty. Goris scanned the runes embossed in the Morid Hell clue plate. His text only helped opening the difficult word lock. Prince Arutha from his lofty perch will find his troops without a search. His men will fall his castle too, and then what will Prince Arutha do? These are all these word puzzles. So he will die! The chest thumped. Satisfied the magical lock's release, Locklear tipped open the large wooden lid. There's armor. Let's see. You have 23% armor. Gorath has 18% armor. And 69% sword. I'm going to give that to Locklear. Yeah, this is much better than the armor you're wearing. We can sell that armor at the store if we go back to a store. So there you go. Got some armor. So we find more of that stuff if we go off-roading, like I said, but I actually need to make sure I save the game first. Before anything runs afoul here. We might do a little bit of off-roading. Go over here in these trees and see. Oh, I missed that whole thing. We gotta be careful we click. I didn't expect to see you again so soon. I would have thought you all the way to Lamut by now. Said Squire Philip, one of his friends. Would have been if the Duchess hadn't insisted in introducing me to all her daughters. Amelia was the prettiest, believe, though I think Catherine took quite a liking to you. Catherine took a liking to everyone at the party. She's as fickle as her mother. She'll likely marry Krondor, and she can find out one not tied to marital knot. True enough. Say, I thought you said you were from Tilburn. What are you doing on this route? Taking this route home? Kind of a long way around, isn't it? Well, yes, but I had to meet up with my Uncle Lockley here, and my other friend here is an elf, Thorgath. They decided it would be nice for me to take a tour with them down to Hawk's Hollow. Down to Hawk's Hollow. I hear it's lovely this time of year. What are you up to? I'm looking for a cash and a reward, actually. When I was on my way to Yaban last month, I found a chest in this area, but I couldn't pick the lock on the thing. I figured it wasn't meant to be, and I left off. Thing is, all through the Duchess's party, I couldn't help but think about it. I had chest on the brain. I don't really care what's in it, but I have to pick that lock. So we can ask him about the nearest town. I'm afraid my sense of direction and distance are a bit off right now. We all did drink a bit last night, and we're still trying to shake off the effects. Which way is the nearest place you could get cleaned up? It must have been quite a bender if you're that confused. Head straight to the south along the main road, and that will take you on to Lamont. If you're looking for good food, the Blue Wheel is a solid wager, though I warn you their Serrani food can be a bit spicy. And I'm going to say goodbye to Swear Philip, because we're going to end the video here, and I will explain what Serrani are in the next video. Tune in then for more Betrayal of Krondor.